Greetings and welcome to the Astronomy Picture of the Day podcast. Today's picture is titled Western Moon, Eastern Sea. So what do we see here? Well, here we see part of the western limb of the moon. Looking out, and we can see two different colorations there. A few regions are darker colored. Those are known as the Mare or seas. And in fact, off in the distance there, right along the edge or limb of the moon, we see Mare Orientale, which is the eastern sea of the moon. And it's actually one of the larger features, but very hard to see from Earth. That's because it's right on the limb. That makes it difficult, unlike other features, which might be closer to the central regions, much easier to pick out. So this one is a lot harder to see. In fact, sometimes you can see it and sometimes you can't. Now, we always say that we can see one side of the moon, which is really correct, but not precisely correct. We actually get to see a little more than 50% of the moon, closer to about 60% of the moon, because the moon undergoes libration. And that is caused by gravitational interactions, so we don't always see exactly the same side. There are certainly a large portion of the moon that we never see from Earth, but some of the regions around the edge of the limb can twist into view or out of view, depending on the exact positioning. Now, this is one of the large maria on the moon, and the maria are large impact basins, things that have been largely impacted in the past and then flooded and filled with lava from below. Now, this all occurred billions of years ago. In fact, the maria date back about 3 or 3.5 billion years, going back not quite to the very earliest ages of the moon, but really, the moon has not been active after its first billion years or so. It's pretty much been unchanged. If you could go back in time and look at the moon 2 billion years ago, it would look pretty much like the moon does today. Not that there aren't some tiny changes, but overall the general features would be roughly the same. However, earlier there were many large impacts and times when lava did flow up from the interior and flood those low-lying regions, and that's what we see as the maria today. Now, if you're wondering, and you may be, this is the western limb of the moon, why the eastern sea is there, that goes back to when this was named. And in fact, when it was named, that was considered the eastern limb of the moon, but the convention changed in 1961, and east and west on lunar maps was switched. So at that point, things changed, but instead of renaming it, it remains Mare Orientale, or the Eastern Sea, even if it is now on the western limb of our moon. So that was our picture of the day, titled Western Moon, Eastern Sea. We'll be back again tomorrow for the next picture. So until then, have a great day, everyone, and I will see you in class.